Nakwi Naknamalita, and welcome to another vlog. I am currently at work. Sorry, I have to put in a password to start a program. Currently at work. It is the Sunday before we leave, so you won't get too many updates from me during this week leading up to our Oregon trip, but I still wanted to just kind of let you know, because I do hope to continue with the beginning of the month vlogs, so that's kind of just keeping me in check. Hopefully there's no one here. I am opening our library right now. We are open on Sundays. But just wanted to just kind of check in before and see just how much, I don't know, I just wanted to do this for some reason. So currently I am reading Physically Chain Gang All-Stars. I forget who it's by, but this is the cover. So far, liking it. I'm only like 50-60 pages into it, but so far it's interesting. We have basically, it's a futuristic speculative fiction, basically, where the prison system has been altered to a degree, signed in by law by a president. Instead of serving time and like being on death row, criminals can, or prisoners can, earn their freedom by fighting for 3 years in like this Coliseum type game where they essentially like kill other prisoners. So it's very brutal so far. It was very intense the first couple of pages. We have a couple of perspectives, 2 of which so far are prisoners who are in the program. One is considered a colossal, in which she is so close to being basically earning her freedom. And then we have another prisoner who is her girlfriend and is still like not quite a colossal, so not quite as close to earning her freedom. And then we have another perspective of someone on the outside, a civilian who is so far protesting these games. So, and it's becoming more nationalized and normalized, these games. Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's really interesting. I'm interested to see where it goes further. There are a couple instances in which I have to like reread a couple of paragraphs because it's for some reason not, my brain's not absorbing it. So yeah. Otherwise, I wanted to listen to something lighthearted as well. I was at first going into Plain Bad Heroines, but because that is one of my only other audiobooks right now, well, that I wanted, that's on my TBR. But I actually decided to deviate from my TBR a little bit and start listening to That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by, is it Kimberly Lemming? I don't know, this is the cover here. So that we are in, I believe, a fantastical world. We are following Cinnamon, who is a spice farmer who on a drunken evening ends up stumbling across, unbeknownst to her, a demon and saves his life. In return, he has agreed to protect their village, because it turns out the goddess that is supposedly protecting their village or keeps them safe, despite asking for heroes every 15 years, isn't actually a goddess. She's a lich. So the demon is trying to make the villager, or make Cinnamon and her family realize that the goddess isn't who she says she is, and if they help him, or if Cinnamon helps him destroy the lich, that he will protect their village. So, because basically it's the lich that makes the demons go crazy, and that's the only reason why there's any threat to them. So, yeah, it's really interesting so far. And of course, there's like warning right off the bat that there's like BDSM and like other things. So I'm kind of excited. I'm 22% of the way into that, and we are just getting on with the adventure, really. So, yeah, so far interesting. But yeah, that's what I'm listening to currently. I'm so excited because it's a little less than a week. It was basically exactly a week until we leave for our vacation. So I just wanted to update you on what I was doing currently this week. I'll probably update you a few more times before we actually leave. Otherwise, it'll probably be a bunch of B-roll of us getting ready for vacation. Okay, it is now Tuesday. Countdown 2 days till vacation. Well, 2 days till I'm off, and then another 2 days till we leave. So technically 4 days till we leave for vacation, but you know, whatever. I finished That Time I Got Drunk and Rescued a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. That one was actually pretty cute. It was a little insta-lovey for my liking, but ultimately I really enjoyed it. Let's say about 4 stars. Yeah, I would say so. I'm interested in the rest of the series. I will say that this cover, absolutely love. The other covers, hate it. So if I can find this cover in a physical copy, and the rest of the series is as good as the first one, if not better, then I want the whole series. But I think it'll be really fun. So there's that. I'm currently listening to Sweet Hand. Oh, I forgot who it's by. Already though, it feels like my eyes are getting a workout for how many times I'm rolling them. It feels very overdramatic. So we'll see how this works out. I'm about 40% of the way through. I agree. So it is Saturday. We are leaving for our vacation tomorrow. We finally got almost everything packed up. I'm about to go take a shower. Once that's done, I can pack all our toiletries. I just wanted to show which books I'm packing. So currently I am still reading Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Alger-Bernea. My apologies if I said that wrong. But I'm not bringing that with me because it's a library book, and even though I'm really pretty good at not ruining books, I just want to be sure. So that's going to stay here. I'm only like 50 pages into it. I'm still enjoying it. I just don't want anything to ruin it. And it is funny though to me that we're going up to Oregon, and this book is through Interlibrary Law, and it's from Portland Community College. But instead, I will be taking 2 other books from my TBR, and a third book that's not on my TBR. The first is The Sleeping World by Gabrielle Lucille Fuentes, and then I'm also bringing The United States of Cryptids, A Tour of American Myths and Monsters by J.W. Ocker. I saw this last year while we were up in Oregon and got it later on throughout the year because I couldn't stop thinking about it. So it's also on my TBR for the month. I thought it would be fun. And then I'm also going to bring with me Rose Quartz. It's a collection of poems by Indigenous author Sasha Tescablu Lapointe. I have another Indigenous author on my TBR for the month of February, but I haven't, even though I put it on my TBR, I do want to alternately read it. I'm just not feeling it for this week. Yeah. So there's that. I did finish 2 novellas and 1 book since I think I last updated you. I finished Sweet Hand by N.G. Peltier. That one, I gave 2.5 stars. I didn't mind the spice, but in all honesty, the spice was taken over, or was like kind of just overshadowed by the fact that I didn't like the main characters. I didn't enjoy, I don't know, just the overall attitudes. Our main character, I felt, was very kind of, I don't know, it was something about the don't mind the messes, sorry. There was something about how that they both presumed each other annoying and bratty and just got annoyed with each other. I actually was more in favor of the love interest attitude, in terms of he had a crush on her and he ultimately had these feels that he couldn't quite place out. And I enjoyed the talk around him, around like the no's that he did, basically making decisions for her in order to spare her feelings, and that it was selfish of him to do so, and that he didn't give her a choice. But she bugged the hell out of me, and I wasn't a fan of her. I am kind of curious about the rest of the series. There are other books to this series. I think it's like a trilogy. I'm kind of curious about it, but I don't know to what extent. I also finished 2 Ali Hazelwoods. I listened to the novellas. I actually read them out of order. So the first one was Stuck With You, where we are following Sadie, who is stuck in an elevator with someone that she ended up having a one-night stand with. And there's some presumptions in terms of she is pissed at him. He knows she's pissed at him, but doesn't quite understand why. And we kind of get the gist of that. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a good... I don't tend to enjoy the miscommunication trope, but I thought this one was done really well. I also thought the spice of it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. There was one instance that made me like question, like, in terms of, they just have at it rather than asking each other the safe questions of like, are you clean? But in the first book, which is the other novella I read, which I read after Stuck With You, was Under One Roof. And this one we were following Sadie's friend, Hannah. Was it Hannah? I think it's Hannah. I'm not into it. Mara. It's Mara. Mara, who is... So this is this... I think it's the STEMinist series, but we are following Mara, who gets... is left a house from her mentor who passes away. But it turns out she's not the only owner of the house. Another part of her mentor's family owns it as well. Her nephew, who happens to work for a big oil company, while Mara is an engineer working in an eco-friendly something. They immediately get off on a bad start. Totally understandable to a degree. It was I feel like it took a little longer than it should have for them to actually like hash things out. It did finally hash things out. I really appreciated the awkwardness in terms of like once they finally hashed things out, they didn't really know what to talk about with each other. So there was a lot of these awkward moments. The spice wasn't quite as good, but I did appreciate the fact that the safe questions were asked in terms of, are you clean? So really appreciate that. Has me have some hope for Ellie Hazelwood, because I did not enjoy the love hypothesis whatsoever. Did not enjoy it. So I have the last one, which is following Sadie and Mara's friend Hannah, who's in the Arctic working for NASA, on it's on hold. I'm waiting for it on hold through Libby. So I like the narration of all the 2 of them so far. So there's that. I'm also about 60 to 70% of the way through this one. I can't remember the name, my apologies, but it's another one that's on my 24 of 2024, and it was on my February TBR. is it a women assault? I don't know. But basically, we are following fairly different perspectives, but ultimately, they're all kind of revolving around Jeanette, who is Cuban, but she's been living in Florida. She has substance abuse issues. Her mother immigrated from Cuba. And we have, like, I think I'm still in her mother's perspective. After getting several other perspectives, her great grandmother, Cecilia's mother, when giving birth to Cecilia in Cuba, the uprising in Cuba to get its independence from Spain, and now issues of immigration in terms of not only Cubans immigrating as a sort of how Cubans immigrated to Florida is different from, like, we follow a mother and daughter who immigrated to Florida from El Salvador, and how that's different. I'm still figuring out how. So it's ultimately not a very long book. I think it's 270 pages, and it was ultimately could have got it done in like 6 hours of listening, but it's fairly heavy topics. We have substance abuse, we have immigration, we have the issues with immigration, particularly when it comes to U.S. politics, and that whole fiasco. I think it's really relevant considering what's happening with Texas right now. So it's just a lot, and particularly I was trying to listen to this at work this last week. I just had a really hard time going through it. And that's a privilege that I am aware that I have, that I can just put it on pause and step away from this issue. So my apologies. I am trying to, but that's also why I'm trying to take my time with it, is so that I better understand it. So please bear with me. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I maybe we'll be able to get it done this week while we're on vacation, but ultimately I'm not entirely sure. I do have a couple audiobooks that we plan on listening to on the way up, so we'll see. February is gonna up in the air for me.
A little scary.
What was it, like 200? Was that 200 feet?
Yeah, 200 foot now.
Into a fucking cave. full of ghostly noises. Well, didn't get the room, floor, or view we got last year, but this is fine. A little noisy, but vaguely remember that we made it. Stopped by some sea lion caves. Don't like caves, don't like going into an elevator. Pretty, I bet they'd make a killing during Halloween. Okay. I'm not sure what the plan is now. Brad's calling his dad to let someone know that we're here. I texted my mom earlier. No audiobooks on the way up. We mostly just listen to music, my music, so it's gonna be, it was random as all hell. So, but yeah, made it so far. We do have plans for tomorrow.